Ladies and gents, allow me to introduce you to Flamebender. The Flamebender wants to play with you. Beautiful orcish lady, all nicely dressed, nice transmog, not too bad. I think we would approve it in a competition. What's on the menu this evening with this raid boss? Again, this is the heroic mode, which is kind of like the new normal mode. Fully flexy and all that kind of good jazz going on with it. She is a lady who's brought her dogs to the party. She brings her dogs to work. What a lovely, lovely aspect of it. She works on energy. Kind of a recurring theme so far in WoD. We've got these energy, which gives us these time events. Very nice, considering we don't really have boss mods on the beta right now. And also, pretty much the first fight I thought was tuned really well. I think. I'll get into that more in a moment. So she's got various energy, which is going to allow her to do certain things. One is throw weapons that spin around in certain areas for the range. That's right, range. You're going to have to move around again. She's also going to spawn these flame trails all over the floor. And she's going to drop meteors on people where you need to share the damage. That was a little bit bugged on beta, and you couldn't see the graphic all the time, but you could see who it had been casted on, so it wasn't too bad. On top of that, she's brought her doggies, like I said earlier. The doggies are the main aspect of this fight. Believe me, these are the only things that are really worth giving a piss about. The doggies work in two ways. One can be tanked, the other becomes overcharged. They're really big. In fact, the overcharged one is the one that can be tanked. The smaller one that remains small will fixate on a random raid member, and between them they will form this fiery link of justice. Just like Sinestra's death beam, walking in between that is not good for your health. And the overcharged one does a lovely flame breath, which is a kind of a pain in the ass. One of the big problems that we had with this fight on beta is that the hitboxes of these bosses, these doggies, is really small. Oh, it's small, which means you literally have to be sniffing the dog's testicles in order to DPS it. A big pain in the ass, because obviously when it changes fixate, the overcharge will swap. So you'll have one big dog, one little dog, and then partway through the DPS cycle, they will swap over. Is that the big one could just turn around and then breathe fire in your face. And as a melee, there ain't much you can do about that, because you've had to be right up his asshole for the entire duration. And after the doggy fight, she'll just go straight into a firestorm. That's about it, guys. That's about it. Now, a number of bugs that we found is quite relevant, I think. One, the fire on the floor. I was actively avoiding it, and considering the small hitbox on both the dogs and the boss, I found this a giant pain in the ass for melee, because I was diving all over the place trying to take as little damage as possible, until I then noticed that our DPS warrior was in fact just actively standing in it on purpose. Yes, he was using it to generate rage so he could do even more DPS. No wonder he has a name like Swaggosaurus. What a guy. So then I realized that in fact that doesn't do very much damage whatsoever, and perhaps that's bugged. I would expect that fire on the floor to be far more dangerous and not actively being used as a DPS increase on a regular basis. I would expect that to be the case. Also, the fixate, which is the most dangerous part of the fight, because obviously you're generating this laser beam between the dogs that can cut people in half. It can be bopped, and it can be sort of immunited. You can feign death and all that kind of stuff. I saw lots of guilds when I checked their kill videos, especially the guys who were like, oh, it's super easy. I went and checked their videos, and they were actually immuning it and stuff like that. So I assume that is also a bug. We didn't do that, which was awesome. We didn't do that at all. We were just looking for different ways to tank it to make it a little bit more melee favorable. But again, that was to counter the hitboxes, which were a real pain in the ass. Overall, so far, this is pretty much the most tuned fight I've seen so far on beta. Everything seemed to happen reasonably well. You had to kill the dogs before the boss reached 100 energy. We were doing that pretty consistently, and everything seemed to work out pretty well. Besides the odd scary moments, such as a dog turning at you or breathing in your face, again, that can be fixed. You can prepare for that. With a boss mod especially, I think this fight with boss mods would be much, much easier. If I knew that the fixate swap was coming, I could easily just move off and go and attack the other dog before the fire breath and all that kind of stuff, which is something that we can take advantage of when we've got accurate timers and we can see things coming. I kind of think there are a couple of bugs here. One, the meteor graphic wasn't always showing. You can kind of see people with the meteor. And also the meteor wasn't doing enough damage. Again, like the fire, I kind of think this meteor is not doing enough damage. It could be shared pretty easily, very minimal damage between 4 people. That should be up to, especially with a raid of our size, probably 6 or 7 people. You should have people running into the melee for that to share the damage. That would be a sort of more ideal way. A lot of people could actually just solo it using a very basic single-person cooldown. Other than that, it felt pretty cool, guys. A nice little boss. I think you're going to enjoy this one. It looks fantastic. Really great. Lots of animations. Nice soft enrage with the weapons gradually filling the room as well. Keeping casters and melee both on their toes. 2 thumbs up from me. Thought it was pretty cool. Had a great time. Alright, guys. I'll see you later. Bye.